hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, 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 hustling.
Welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we have a banger daily market news analysis. So without any further ado, let's bring the action. He says, "Yo, Ski, what's Gucci?" Not the markets. Well, it is Gucci if you like Black Friday sales. Today is the full moon. And I told you guys in a previous live stream that I anticipated a back test of 28,500. 28,500. Well, we are sitting at 28,800. To me, this is within range. However, it appears we have broken below the 55 moving average. Another close probably tomorrow would confirm this, or we could find support here. This isn't a technical break just yet, but it's looking very likely that we're going to go at least to the 236 at about 28,000. A Discord member showed also where this is a liquidity map, where there's a lot of short liquidity money right here, which makes sense because structurally this is the 236. This is also, there's a good bit of support here, so this is likely where we're going to go. Today's the full moon. It happens over and over again. These narratives show up. We got the SEC suing every crypto except for Bitcoin. You got Hex is a security. You got the Curve hack. All these narratives, they always show up right around the full moon. Imagine. He says fire sale, baby. That's what it is. So I'm looking for opportunities to accumulate more. I'm looking for opportunities to go long. But this looks like we're going to hit 28K. That's what it looks like to me. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is looking much similar to Bitcoin. The only difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin is the 200 is much tighter. So the 200 is way down here at 26,000. I don't think we're going to go that low. I think we're going to go to the 236 here at 28. But for Ethereum, the 200 moving average has been a major level of support for pretty much all of inception, except for this little period right here. The 200 was a major level of support. I don't anticipate that is going to change anytime soon. Let's get some music in here. Catch the crash, baby. Can you guys hear the music? There we go. So yeah, I'm looking probably for Ethereum. You're looking at about 1,800. That's a really good price. I mean, where we're at right now is honestly a good price. Like, here's the thing. You don't want to wait for the day that never comes. So for me, like, I'm already starting to build my positions. Today is the full moon. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen between today and the 4th or the 5th. Talon, thank you for the follow, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I still see us dropping 10% or more. Institutions looking to liquidate leverage. That's right. Very possible. But if we do, like, here's the thing. If you don't have your stuff ready to buy, it's not going to live there, most likely. It's not going to live at the 10%. It's just going to be this crazy wick down there just to grab liquidity on people going long. Do you think it'll drop lower with the second moon? It's very possible. I still believe we're in a general uptrend. Like, as you see here. It's possible though. But we're in like the solar cycle as well. So like it's more bullish than it's not. So all of last year was like these crazy moves to the downside. Like grueling up, big moves down, grueling up, big moves down. That was all last year. This year is the opposite. Big moves up, grueling down. Big moves up, grueling down. Big moves up, grueling down. He says NSG 50 cal says these prices you predicting, are they bull run prices time frame on them? Yes, like 2025. That is correct. Correct the moon though. Do you know Woo Network? No. We'll look at it though. All right, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. What is the NASDAQ? So the NASDAQ is up pre-market. Bitcoin is down 1.2%. The NASDAQ looks like it wants to break out, which is good news for Bitcoin, because at no point in time has Bitcoin made a new all-time high without also the NASDAQ making a new all-time high. People think that Bitcoin's a hedge against inflation and all this and that, and maybe so, but in reality, Bitcoin has never in its history made a new all-time high without also the NASDAQ making a new all-time high. Correlation does not mean causation. However, this is how it's been. John says, can you pull the history on super full moons? Is there a difference between in moon cycles and full moon? Okay, so the moon cycle is literally just a 28-day cycle. Like the actual calendar, like the calendar that we have is pretty fraudulent, to be honest with you. We'll look at XRP in just a second. The calendar that we have now is fraudulent, straight up. So, all right, here's an example. The Hebrew calendar went perfectly with the moon. 28 days, 4 weeks, 13 months, which is why they call it, it's why it's called a month, as in a moon, a month, a month. Each month, each lunar cycle, that was 1 month. Here's another example. September equals 7. Oct equals 8. October. Nav equals 9. November. December equals 10. Our calendar system is completely fraudulent. But when you're measuring the lunar cycle compared to charts, typically the full moon is when crazy things will happen, because what is money really? And this is how you have to think about it if you want to be able to measure money with the moon. What is money really? Money is not real. Money is real because we say it's real. But what it really is a measurement of energy. If you guys were to tip me a rose or sunglasses or whatever, I'm grateful for it. But if you get down to brass tacks, is those glasses real? Are those roses real? Did anything actually happen? Or do we agree that a magic internet money exists? It's going to go from my account to from your account to my account. Did anything actually happen? Or do we agree that a magic internet money exists? The answer is we agree magic internet money exists. The Blue Cat checking in. What up, bro? And if that's the case, if it's just energy, it's just money. The money part is not real. What we are actually measuring is energy. That's sort of the mindset that you need to be looking at when you're understanding like the moon. Okay, you're measuring energy. Okay, and you think it's like, oh, it's like woo woo whatever. Like, go to any hospital, bro. Go to any prison, bro. Go to any nursing home, bro, on the full moon and ask the workers if they know when it's a full moon. I guarantee you that they do. I guarantee you that they do. So when you're measuring it with the markets, the full moon is typically the local bottom, and the new moon is typically the local top. Now, it's not like on this day at this time. That's not what it is. It's just a window of energy that you are mindful of. Like, that's why crazy narratives are showing up. Like, oh, it's a full moon. There's more murders on a full moon. He says, do you do TA classes? I do. Patreon. You can join my Patreon, link in the bio. I have a full course on there for the price of a cup of coffee. Or level 2 YouTube members will get access to my private Discord. I have buy, call, sell alerts. I have videos. I have a full course on TA, all that. Should be 13 months. That's right. My price prediction woo is 20x. Hello, Ski. Think the first month is April. I think it's March. I think it's actually March. It might be though. And I know like July and August are literally, those are like the made up months. They're named after Julius Caesar. All the crazies are out. Yeah, literally, that's why they call it a lunatic. A lunatic, like the lunar, like he's acting crazy because of the moon. A lunatic. Every time I say this stuff, people act like I'm speaking like witchcraft or something like that. But literally, like just off the top of my head. So here's the full moon. You have like SEC suing every crypto except for Bitcoin. What up, Ski? What did I miss? You missed a little class on the moon. Hex is getting sued. Curve got hacked. Same thing back here. It was the SEC is suing again, and then the new moon was like BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. The last couple were the SEC. Like I could pull up a news article right here. I actually have a video where I did that. But these are like, if I were to turn on the, let me show you the indicators. Where are you? Boom. Why is it an indicator on TradingView? Like they're not gonna put it on there for no reason. So full moon, full moon, full moon, full moon, full moon. Like these local, like these little bottoms are right near full moon, full moon, full moon. Like it's not on the day, but as you can see, like it's very close. Same thing, like new moon, local top, 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 local top. Local bottom, 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 local bottom. He says moon phases even affect fishing and hunting as well. Yeah, no, it affects everything. It's like, I don't know, people that don't believe it, it's like an ego thing. It's like an ego thing. They're like, oh, I'm not controlled by the moon. It's like, all right, bro. All right. It's like it controls the whole ocean. It moves the entire ocean in and out, which is 70% of the earth. It moves it all in and it moves it all out. You're 70% water, but it doesn't affect you. All right, cool. You got it, bro. It's crazy to process in my head that the moon affects so much. No, it's like our entire society is in a lot of ways based around it. Like the months is it, like I said it earlier in the live stream. I don't know if you're just popping in, but literally the months are like a month cycle. The original calendar was 13 months, 28 days, 4 weeks, which is exactly what the moon cycle is. You have a full moon and a new moon in a 28-day cycle. Like literally Monday is named after the moon. Moon Day. You have Sunday, Moon Day. All the answers are right there. All right, let's look at the XRP chart. Saturn Day, that's right. The Mayan calendar is the true calendar. There's some, I've seen some crazy theories about that, about how when we switch from the Hebrew calendar to the calendar that we have now, that they skipped like 8 years. And so like 2012 was 2020. That's right. Satan equals Saturn. That's right. Saturn is father time. Anything with the hex is father time. We're getting real woo-woo here. Let's look at the chart. Old Kronos, Satan, Saturn, father time. They're all the same character. All right. So we're having to cross to the downside on XRP. It looks like we're just going to go back all the way to the 0.5 here at 65 cents. Realistically, anything under 69, 68 cents is really good. Says, speaking of father time, Richard in hot water with the SEC. Yeah, I said this yesterday. Like, I don't think it's great news. It's not like, oh, thank God Hex is being sued by the SEC. It's not great news for sure. However, like everything that the SEC is doing with Gary Gensler at the head, you have to take it as a grain of salt. And you have to really take it for what it is. It's liquidity for the big players. What's happening with Curve? I just made a full video. Oops. On my YouTube. Well, on TikTok as well. Unbelievable, massive $40 million heist. 2-minute video. This is my most recent TikTok video and also my most recent YouTube video. So there you go. But in short, there was an exploitation. This is not the first time that Curve has got exploited. Jacob says, hello. What up, brother? all Richard has to do is give them a piece and he's free. Yeah, like I just think it's liquidity. It's the full moon. And like each full moon, I think like the previous 3 full moons in a row, the SEC has had some sort of nonsense of they're suing X company. And then we just forget. Like the new moon comes around and prices are rocking and rolling and we just forget all about it. But it's happened like 3 times in a row. How far are we going down? So for XRP, I would say 65 cents. Anything under 68 cents is a good buy in my opinion, because the next new moon, like, we're going to go to the upside. We're going to test this. At a minimum, we're going to test the 618 again, but we'll probably break through it. But the 618 is 83 cents. For Bitcoin, I've said in a previous live stream, 28.5 is the, and I even have it already have it right here. Like I put this here, like at up here, 28.5. I said if we didn't get out of this range right here, we were gonna back test 28.5. Realistically, we could probably wick below the 236 at 28,000, which is right here. Oops. Yeah, so the 236 right here is about 28,000. That's probably where we're going to go to. We're having a cross on the downside, and we're breaking below the 55. So it depends on how long it's going to take, but we'll probably find support on the 200, which right now it's sitting at 26.6. But I think by the time that we get to the 200 is going to move its way up. It'll probably be about 27, 28K. Says, hi brother, do you expect to jump to 42 to 48K that you talked about when? When moon, bro. Yeah, I still think like the new moon, we're going to have another push to the upside. The thing that we got to get past this 31K ceiling. And once we get past it, like you see, this is like thin air. When you have thin air, you're going to have thin air to the upside. And we start getting a little bit of resistance here at 35K. But as soon as we get past 31K, we're going to go very quickly to 35K and probably all the way as high as 42K within a matter of like, a couple of days. So the way that we're just going right now, it's just the opposite of last year. So all of last year was big crashes down, grueling up. Big crashes down, just grueling up. Big crashes down, grueling up. So that was all of last year. Now this year it's flipped. We have big moves up, grueling down. Big moves up, grueling down. Big moves up, grueling down. So I anticipate the next big move up, we're going to get out of this range. And that's going to bring us at a minimum to 35 in this sort of medium time frame. But as high as probably 42 to 48. I anticipated that it was like similar to this structure, but the more that I look at it, I actually think it's more similar to the 2013 bull run, and we'll look at that right now. Actually, let's pull this side by side. All right, let me go. Yeah. And the main part that I want to look at is right here. So we got it. Bull run. All right. Hold on. So we have 2013, and this is the previous bull run, right? So you have your parabolic rise, crash down most of the way, crash down. The similar part is what I think is this, okay? So this was a Shemitah year, the 7th year. This was 2015 into 2016. This was a Shemitah year, and this was the prior year after the Shemitah, okay? And so what we're seeing, let me fix my camera. Whoops. All right, here we go. So what we're seeing was on this run, we did hit the 618, but instead of having a huge spring to the downside, we just kind of marched along. So we hit the 618 on the retracement, which is what 48K would be, is the 618, right? We hit the 618, but we didn't come way back down to the past the 236 like we did in a prior run. We only came back down to the 382. And so that's kind of what we're doing. We're just marching along. And as you see here, we were hanging out around the 236. I think it was for 200 days. So let's see. We hung out, 203 days. We hung out around the 236. So if you were to just measure it with time, which is a terrible way to measure it, but if you were just to do it with for fun, that would bring you out to October. Okay. If it is structurally similar to this one where we just kind of marched out of here into the next bull run, that's what we'd be looking at. Whereas the 2017 was this. We went to the 618 yet again, just like we did back here, but we came all the way back down to the 136 before then going off. So which one are we going to do? We don't know. But either way, 48K seems to be, 42 to 48K seems to be the medium term landing spot. And we're already, even if it's going to be 200 days, you know, we're already 140 days in. So maybe we have a couple more months at the most. He says they use the full moon as a ritual. No, that's facts. It's similar to cop department sacrificing civilians. Each have their way of dividing and conquering. After 40K, then back down to 20K after the halvening. It's probably, it depends if we're going to have like a spring structure or a non-spring structure. So so you don't have to have a spring in Wyckoff. 2013 to 2016, we didn't have a spring. So if it were like that, we came back to the 382, which would put you going to the 618, back down to the 382 would be 35K. If we have a spring, like we had in 2019, the spring brought you below the 236, so you'd be looking at 20K. So it's all dependent on structurally, are we going to have a spring or no spring? Let me just show you. All right, so it's phase C on Wyckoff. As you can see right here, there's a spring, but it's in this phase does not have to happen. This is the variable of Wyckoff, whether or not you have a spring. Sometimes you have a spring, sometimes you don't. That is the variable. That is the variable. He says, after 40, what AI coin do you recommend? I think the AI stuff is a little bit overhyped, to be honest with you. If I were to pick an AI coin, I would pick a coin that you can build AI on, like a storage coin, like Chia or Filecoin, or a scalable coin like XRP or HBAR. But I don't know, the AI stuff, it reminds me a lot of the .com, in that the technology is going to change everything forever in every single way. However, the first rollout isn't as life-changing as we might think. Just because we're not used to it, we think it's life-changing. And what they did during the .com bubble was a lot of companies would just slap .com on a shell company that did not really exist. And I think we're seeing that with AI. People are just slapping AI on a lot of their stuff just as sort of a buzzword thing, and it's not a real company. There's a couple that are like, wow, this is going to change everything. And I think the overall technology will. But most of the AI is not actually AI. It's not actually learning. It's just collecting data. It's not actually learning. It's just a neat website. But can you build a $1 billion company off of a neat website? I'm not so sure. So overall, eventually, robots and AI is going to rule the world. But is that day today? I don't think so. I think it's a little bit early on that stuff. But for me, I would say the stuff that you can build AI on, such as storage or scalability. Now, that being said, people will pump AI coins. So there's going to just be straight up AI coins that just pump like crazy. But you just got to understand that it's a bubble. And it's going to come back down to earth at some point. So that's my opinion on AI. I think overall the technology is a little bit early. LCX has dropped down. All right, let's look at LCX. Yeah, LCX is at a critical level of support here. This needs to hold for LCX. Says, love red days. Black Friday sales all around. Let's go. Just bought another 15K. Sheesh. T13 says, I know it ain't going to 48K no more. Larks, it's going there. It's going to 48K. Just the question is when. Like at some point in time, it's going to 48K. The question is it going to violently go to 48K? Like so? Or is it just gonna march along to 48K? Is it going to violently get there? Or is it going to march along? like so. I think it's going to get there this year too. So I showed this earlier in the live stream. The difference between a spring and a non-spring. All right, so this is the 2017 bull run, the 2019 retracement. All right. So this was more of a violent retracement followed by a spring, right? Well, if you look at the previous Spita year, 2013, followed by the 2015 retracement, it was just marching along. So like, this was a no spring year. There was no spring. But look, we hit the 618, but it just kind of marched along. We spent 200 days at the 236 before then 200 days at the 236 before 22 more days going all the way to the 236 or all the way to the 618. So 200 days at the 236, 20 days later all the way at the 618. So that would put you in October. Because we've been hanging out at the 236 for a minute now. $140 days. So 230 days would put you in November. What up, Ski? How you been, brother? He says, I love the 2 times diagnose. I mean, 36 to 40K is, I mean, that's possible too, because that would just put you at the 0.5 instead of the 618. Structurally, it would be the same move, though. So 42K would be the 0.5, which is a common place to retrace. And in fact, the more mature an asset gets, it's going to get to the 0.5 rather than the 618. So, but the difference between 42 and 48K for a retracement is potato, especially if it looks more like 2013 rather than 2015. Because on 2013, when we hit the 618, we didn't come way back down. We only came back to the 382 before just marching along to the next bull run. $26 is the lowest. Well, it depends. Are we having a spring or a no spring? Let's look. All right, so if we have our violent, so here's the current picture, right? Here's a spring example. Okay, we had the violent run up to the 618, followed by the spring bringing you to the 136. Okay, if that were the case, if we violently go to the 618, followed by a violent spring to the 16, or the 136, you'd be looking at 48K back down to 20K. This is the spring example. And the non-spring example, the kind of one where it's just boringly marching along, what it seems like it's doing to me. But we'll see. Where it just boringly marches along to the 618. It only got back to the 38 or the 382, which that would be up to 48K, back down to 35K. So it just depends, are we going to get a spring or no spring? That's really the question. It looks to me like we're just going to get a no spring just marching along. He says fire sales. That's right. Today's the full moon. My favorite day to go shopping. All the narratives tend to show up today. They all tend to just show up and show out. Your thoughts on Litecoin? Litecoin is, it typically goes, it's one of the first altcoins that goes, typically. I think Litecoin is typically a leading indicator for a lot of the other altcoins. We'll see if that continues to play out, but that's how it's been in the past. As far as just the coin itself, like, it's okay, it's whatever. It's a better version of Dogecoin. But they're literally Dogecoin is a fork of Litecoin. Alright, let's so if we're looking at the DXY today, and I've said this before, like DXY is something important to look at. We'll see if we get rejected off of this 55 moving average. This is a key level. And what we need, what you'll notice, is the DXY trades inversely with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in the stock market. So if this thing is having new all-time highs, like back here, when Bitcoin was in the dumps, and then also down here is when Bitcoin was running rampant at 69K. So we seem to be in a clear downtrend for the DXY. We'll see if we get rejected. We've crossed the upside. This has a little bit of strength, but we'll see if we get rejected off the 55. If we do, I anticipate one leg lower, which would mean one leg higher for cryptocurrency. It says, I'm getting more Kuzma. I think it will do better than Quant as far as ROI. Probably. I mean, it's a lower cap, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, your lower caps are definitely going to have more. 156. It's only at 195. Like, the lower caps are definitely going to have higher potential for ROI, but they're also going to have higher potential for not doing anything either. I don't know anything fundamentally about Kuzma though, so, but ROI potential definitely higher. Yeah, let's take a look at the S&P 500, or the NASDAQ is now down on the day as we've opened. Same thing for SPY is down 0.25%. Gold is down 1% today, which also gold trades inversely with crypto as well. The Dow Jones is down Everything's down today. Other than the DXY. DXY is up. DXY is up. Everything is down. All right, guys. I think we're gonna cut it here. I'll be live for the market close, and on the market close, I'll be doing like your guys' coins and stuff. I'm about to drop a video. Just going over the charts and stuff like that. So I'm gonna work on that video. I will be live market close at 3:45 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to learn how to trade, you can join the Patreon. Link in bio for that. You can also become a member on YouTube now. You're gonna get access to my private Discord, which I have buy, call, sell alerts, all my videos, all that kind of jazz. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at yaboyski, YouTube at yaboyski, Twitter at Gayeski. I'm never going to message you and ask you how your trading is going. So if someone is doing that, that is a scammer. Please report them. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless. I'm out.
Damn, hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, hustling, hustling.